Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special episode of Tell Your Story, episode 12. And as you can see, there is no guest this week. I'm going to share another piece of my story. Something that I wanted to, as I continue to do these stories as well as blog and share on social media, I want to continually be a face of honesty, transparency, and sharing all of my learning and growth and failures, the good times and the bad, because I understand how social media can often make it look like everything is beautiful and wonderful and shiny and bright, and that there are no struggles or trials, and that's quite not the truth. So today, I wanted to share a little piece with you. As a preface, I got to say, I've been toying with whether or not I wanted to do this Facebook Live or do this episode and share this part of the story. But the more I reflect and look inward, I know that this part of my journey is important to share as well. And it's also weird knowing that some of my staff follow this page. They'll be watching this as well. But one thing that I share a lot on social media and things that I talk about when I travel and present are different innovative ideas that we try at Webb Elementary, whether that is our new Lego wall or our house system that we got from Ron Clark Academy, or innovative teaching practices, or the amazing work my team is doing to work with kids every day, or the gifting of books to every kid that we did this spring. I go out and I share all these wonderful things that my team is doing to impact kids and change lives. And I know that we are doing incredible work to impact those kids and the families in our community and the students that we serve. There's the whole shebang. And part of the game of the education system is school ratings and standardized test scores. So if you know any piece of my journey from reading through any of the books, you know that I was hired as a principal to help bring a campus that had been struggling back into positiveness. I'd never had any leadership role outside the classroom. It was my first step. My first year was really hard. It was wonderful, and I had a blast, but it was very hard. We didn't move the needle much that year. And at Webb, we've been working really hard and doing all this work. And last year, we got out of the system we were in and out of the bad list. And we were so proud. We barely crossed that line, but we worked our butts off to get there and work the system and make it work for us. And this year, we got scores and ratings back. Our state's kind of changed the evaluation system a little bit. We use our same standardized exams in third, fourth, and fifth that we use. But if you know anything about figuring out ratings for schools, it's very complicated, very convoluted. It's incredibly difficult to understand. The state has tried to say, oh, we're going to go to A through F ratings so that it makes it so much easier. But we don't even understand half the time how the ratings make sense because the math is so difficult. And so this year, this fall, our district got a rating, but the schools were only identified as met standard or did not meet standard. And so we got a preliminary rating that'll come out in January for our campuses, but our campuses don't get rated till next year. So, we started back with staff last Monday. We kicked it off with a bang. Last year, I'd really struggled with the scores because we barely made it over the line. And I was like, we can do better. And we worked really hard. And on Tuesday, right when convocation was starting, I got the results for our year. And it was like a punch in the gut. We were 1 point in one category and 2 points in another. And that when you automatically don't meet two categories, you're automatically classified as an IR campus. We were classified as an underperforming campus. And the moment I got that news, I was like, oh, how do I break the news to my team? I thought, how do we break the news to the families that we serve? Because I know that our campus provides a great opportunity for learning for kids. I know that we are changing lives every day, but I also know that when a title is attached to a school, whether it's a rating or a name, some people refused to see anything else except that. And I was really upset that evening. And, we weren't going to tell our schools yet. We were going to kind of figure out exactly how we were going to relay the message. I knew that I wanted my team to know that this is here. We're not going to whine. We're not going to make excuses. We're not going to say, oh, that system's just so complicated. It's like, no, we're going to own it and we're going to figure out our mistakes and move forward. But I want to relay that correctly to my team. And then I found out that out of the 5 campuses in our district, we were the only one that was underperforming. And that was another punch to my gut because, my view on the leadership is that if my campus doesn't perform to where we need to perform, that's on me. I'm not a principal who's going to blame the teachers or the instructional aides or the upper administration or not having materials or not having supplies or anything like that. It's on me. I'm the instructional leader, and I know that I can't control everything. I want you to know I'm not saying that that's all that, but I know it is a reflection of my leadership, and I'm a very reflective person. I know very clearly the areas that I want to work on, the things that I want to get better at, that I know I can lead better at. But my added layer is that people watch me. People message me on social media, people see things, and it's like I also have that in there too of, okay, now here's another thing where everybody's going to go, see, you were just all talk. You are da 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 da. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to shut it all out. I'm going to lace up my boots and I'm going to show up and we're going to work like this for kids. And it's funny because as soon as you don't meet the mark, people come out of the woodwork to say, we knew you couldn't do it. I've gotten the message of, well, you're not hardly ever at school. And I want to say, when I go and present, I do it once a month during the school year, and I'm gone for a day. I leave late the night before, I present, and then I come back. In my 4 years of being a principal, in addition to my 7 years in the classroom, in all 11 years of my career, I have missed 1 day for being sick. And that's not saying I came to school sick. I haven't ever been at that level where I couldn't come to school. When my mother passed away, I was at school the next school day that we had. When I've had to deal with things, I try to do it after work, or I leave right in the nick of time. Even like the last 3 weeks getting ready for school, I've been there till 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I've been going to physical therapy twice a week to deal with my back issue that I had from our bus wreck that we had in April. And I was up there today, and I'm up there every weekend. And it's not always things that I put on social media because I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I know teachers who put in way more hours than I do and get absolutely no credit. People who are busting their butts. And so it's not that I'm saying, well, woe is me. It's like when you are a more high profile presence, people are very quick to step in and say, well, it was because of this, or it's because you didn't do this. And then I look at my team and I'm like, my team's amazing. Like the people at my campus, they love those kids. They work tirelessly for those kids. And to know that some of them will be judged and defined by a title, that is probably the part that hurts the most through all of this, is knowing that. And we had our Meet the Teacher on Thursday night, and we've been really, we have tried to keep moving forward and keeping our eye on the prize, even in the midst of all this turmoil. And like I said, I take it all very personally, and have done a lot of reflecting and a lot of meeting with my team, my admin team on my campus, and saying, what are we going to do? We got to do better. I got to do better. Let's rearrange these things because I need to do these things better. And we had Meet the Teacher this week. And, our theme this year is creating the magic. We've got a whole Disney kind of thing we're going with, and the whole staff dressed up in costumes and excitement, and we did all these amazing things for kids. And it was kind of one of those moments of, we had 700 people show up for Meet the Teacher, and not one said, why are you IR? Why are you underperforming? Because I really believe that the parents that attend our school know that we work really hard. But the state test is there, and we got to play the game just like everybody else. And that's why I said we have made no excuses to the way we have performed. We are at the bottom of the list of the 5 campuses because of that performance. And it's funny because we are the campus that showed the most growth. And we have all these things work in our favor. And coming into the school year, when we had done our own data, we were like, we're over the line. We got this. And then a month before, the commissioner changed an expectation, and that changed the ratings for some people. And, regardless of any of that, we looked at it and said, we're going to continue to rise and rise to the top and continue to work. Because for me, part of me goes, well, I'm a fighter and I don't do last place. And so I'm going to show up and work even harder. Have there been a lot of tears? Yes. Has my wife had to knock some sense into me? Of course. My friends as well have had to really speak into me and deal with me withdrawing from them and trying to understand and deal with the intenseness on my own. And my team has been wonderful and supportive and going, you know what, we're going to do this. We got this. We are going to prove everyone wrong, and we are going to show up every day. But I wanted to share that piece of my story because, like I said, I could sit here and make excuses all day long for this or that. And I could let the opinions of others sway who I'm going to be, the decisions I'm going to make. Or I could know that there are always things that I can do better. There are always things my team can do better. And one rating, one label, one mistake, those things don't define who we are as people. What defines us is how we react in those situations. And we at Webb Elementary are reacting with a renewed fervor of getting out there and saying, this is our year. This is the year we are going to go from an F to an A. We have set our sights high. We have set our goals high because we truly believe that we can do it. And we're not going to let poverty stand in the way. We're not going to let drugs and violence and gangs and these things stand in the way. We're not going to let tardies or absences or teachers who may get sick or have things that come up or testing or any of this. We're not going to let any of it get in the way. Our job is to educate kids. And I believe with all my heart, and I've shared this many times, that education of a child is the heart and the mind. And it's 50-50. And we're going to show up and we're going to continue to reach those kids at their heart and provide the physical needs and the emotional needs that they have. But we're also going to go and say, what do we need to do to be successful in this exam so that the state truly believes in us as much as we believe in us, as much as the wonderful parents that we have that bring their kids to us every day and allow us to educate them. We are going to provide an experience unlike anything else where our kids leave performing at the top of the list. It's not going to be easy, and I'm going to continue to share my journey throughout the year. And I'm going to continue to share it honestly. And honestly, this was a push for me out of my comfort zone. It's easy to share some things, and it's other things, especially failure, and sharing those that is the hardest part of going. I have to tell everybody that my school, even though we rose higher than we have in last year, the state said, you are a failing school. And we are not a failure, and we are not going to let that define us. And I'm going to work harder and smarter than I ever have before. And though I know I will still struggle with doubt, and I know I will still allow things to get in my head and make me believe things that aren't true, I'm just not going to let that consume me. And I believe in surrounding yourself with people and allowing them to see the ugly parts that you deal with so that they can help remind you and keep you where you are. But I wanted to share that piece today because, like I said at the beginning, I know some people see people on social media or these wonderful things they're doing and they think, wow, they've got all the resources or they have it all together or they're always so wonderful. It's so Pinterest worthy. And it's bright and shiny, but there's a lot of dirt too. And there's a lot of struggle and pain and tears and but sometimes those hard times really bring people together and bring the focus back on the mission at hand and help us get to where we get. I am nowhere near where I want to be as an educator, as a man, as a husband, as a friend. I know that I can do all of those things better, and I'm going to continue to work and get better, and I'm going to continue to push those around me to grow and get better and use resources from everywhere to bring in the best help that we can because we're not meant to do it alone. We're meant to do it together. And so I want to just put this out there to let everybody know that we all struggle. We all have things that bring us down, things that try to define who we are. In our darkest moments, sometimes we believe those negative messages. Sometimes we believe those labels and those things people say. But I love what Hope King always says. And she says, if you've got time to lurk, you've got time to work. And so those people who want to run their mouths and talk bad, if they've got time to do that, they got time to get their hands in there and help you. They've got time to get to stand up and say, I'm going to walk alongside of you. And if there's anything I've learned with everything on the TV and through social media in the last couple of years is the simple fact that we need to stand together more than ever before. And I'm reaching out to people more than I ever have, and knowing that everybody has to stand together for the betterment of ourselves, our kids, our communities. It's not a solo job, and there's not a savior of one person that comes into the district or comes into the school and says, I'm the one that can fix it all. And I don't believe I'm the one that can fix it all, but I know that I can play my part and bring other people along who will play the part as well. And I'm going to make this school year the best year ever. I know it won't be easy, but I know that my team is ready and I'm ready. And I'm going to continue to be on platforms like this to share the successes of the awesome things we do, but the struggles and doubtful moments and insecurities and all those things that come with having any kind of job or being in any kind of friendship or relationship. And so if you're struggling with doubt today, if you have those labels that you feel are trying to define you and that people are choosing to look at you based on a label provided by somebody who has never been in your school, my word today is keep your head up. Focus on those kids that show up every day and look up to you. Those kids who don't care what the state has said, but they are ready for you to teach them. They are ready for you to love them. They are ready for you to bring your best to be the best for them because they don't have a year to waste. They don't have a moment to waste. So we can't let those outside voices determine who we are. We get to determine who we are, and we can learn and grow and get better, and we will always be getting better. We don't have to let those labels define the person we choose to be. I hope everybody has a great school year. We start on Monday with kids. I cannot wait to welcome them into a brand new year, to create some magic with them along with the rest of my team. But I hope everybody else, whether your school year has started or is about to start, that you have a wonderful year as well and continue to fight the good fight, even on those days where you're not sure that you can pick up the sword at all. Have a great night.